So my name is Gina Mendez. I'm the Regional Field Director for ACE, Arizona Center for Empowerment. So ACE stands for Arizona Center for Empowerment. We're an organization that focuses on leadership development, civic engagement, and really creating people power to take action in our communities. Um, Youth involvement is super important to me. Like for this year, not only did we go out in the community and register a lot of young people to vote, but a lot of the people that we registered were registered by youth. And so we're hoping that not only were they able to connect with them, but really now is the time where we're knocking on their doors and also giving that extra push to make sure that they're going to vote this year. So I have a lot of hope that they're gonna turn out this year. What difficulties? I would say I don't know about difficulties. I would say access to different school districts. We've been doing a lot of work here within Phoenix Union. They have been really great. However, some of the other school districts, they haven't really been as open to come and allow us to speak to their students, to come table and really give students the opportunities to get involved within civic engagement. So I would say that's one of the difficulties by trying to get more people involved is having some schools that really aren't open to community organizing and youth empowerment. I guess one of the things that blocks ACE from completing its goals, it would be maybe things that happen randomly, right? Like last minute rallies, last minute actions. But for the most part, we've been really good about completing our goals. Like ACE was one of the only two organizations within One Arizona to finish their goals, and we had a huge goal. So I mean, we succeeded, and we finished early, but I know there was times where it was a little bit difficult. And it was because of last minute rallies and stuff like that. Yeah, so we do a lot of outreach. I normally work with high school students, college students, and that happens by going to the schools. Outreach. All right, so we do outreach. When we go to the high schools, do classroom presentations, tabling, and talk to students about leadership opportunities, about civic engagement. And so once we get students involved, we then ask students hey, do you have any other teachers that might allow us to come in and do classroom presentations? And so it's a lot of word to mouth, really getting our folks that are already involved to give us access to other students by connecting us with other teachers or other people within their schools and clubs. What rights? So we have a political education program where students come and learn about the different systems of oppression. So we talk about white supremacy, we talk about capitalism, we talk about patriarchy and all of these different isms. But specifically, we definitely talk about the criminalization of Black and Brown communities and kind of connecting it to the criminalization of our undocumented community and the history behind that. So when we talk about rights, we definitely give students that educational piece of making sure that they also know about some laws that they try to pass here in Arizona, which make it a little bit more difficult with our communities. And so immigration is a key issue for us, and so we definitely teach that within our political education program. What programs? I mean, other programs, I guess, we partner up with some other schools, but not necessarily or other other organizations. But I think most of all, it's been here. We've been doing a lot of the work here at ACE. But we do field trips. Like last year, we went to a field trip with ASU for Hispanic Heritage Month, and then they were able to learn about the lowrider culture, learn a little bit about community. And so whenever there's opportunities like that, going to plays or whatever, it's random. But not specifically a program, but whenever there's the opportunity to collaborate, we'll definitely connect with folks. So our political education program for ACE means knowledge, right? And we really don't get to learn about a lot of things within our schools that we want to learn about, like learning about culture, learning about community movement. And so that's something that we get to teach our young people, not just that, but like the different systems of oppression, so that way they can connect what's happening to them in their everyday lives, and also it gives them a way to like really take action around it. So it's like real knowledge. So I decided to get involved in 2016. They were working on a campaign, and it was around income inequality. My mom, she's a minimum wage worker, and they wanted, and like our sister organization, Lucha, specifically was working on the Fight for 15. So I wanted to do this because I thought that minimum wage was a problem in Arizona, and I wanted to make sure that like we were able to raise that not just for me and my family, but for other families here. And so I decided to volunteer. And then a little bit after, they're like, "Hey, there's an opportunity to organize around civic engagement with ACE. Like, are you down?" I'm like, I'm down. Hell yeah!" And so, I applied, and then, they interviewed me, and then here I am. So, really, I believe a lot in youth empowerment. I came from the walkouts that happened in 2006, and I have a lot of hope for like our young people. So getting to work with them, this was a perfect opportunity for me to do that. No, I haven't got arrested. There's a few times for me to like, they're like, "Yo, there's like this action happening like for folks doing civil disobedience." I think for me, like my focus right now is like really empowering like our folks in the community. But when that time is there for sure, like I'm down to do civil disobedience.